Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
God, microphones are scary. Yeah, this is about some work that I did at a university in Palestine. It's directed at a friend who moved to Israel the same time I went to Palestine, and we had a couple of arguments, and due to my beliefs about Palestine's right to freedom, she actually cut contact with me. So I just wanted to make it clear that this is specifically directed to her, and that there's actually some fantastic human rights organisations throughout Israel. There's some fantastic individuals there who campaign against the government and stuff. So yeah, this is for a friend on the other side of the wall. The sound of gunshots crack through reality. Young men and women hold their firearms high, fingers on the trigger, grasp tight, pointing this thing towards our heads because we are with dogs, they say. The barrier goes click and revolves as we exit one by one from a cage. This is why we call it the world's biggest prison. The only way in or out is past that gun directed at your head. A childhood friend tells me she sincerely hopes one day I'll realise it's all propaganda. I would laugh if these weren't the words behind every oppressor's lips. I would laugh if these weren't the words that belong to somebody else. I would laugh if these weren't the words that keep innocent children lost in a disappearing sea of the forgotten, the Dead Sea. So we cry instead. We cry together and we cry alone, he said. Such ignorance is not funny when it supports the killing of children, the destruction of an entire people. Gas the Arabs. These words are sprayed across a school door in Hebron. The pupils exit via this door to face the angry fists and ferocious kicks of settler children, whose parents live on the land of the bullies' victims, whose parents from the USA, the place of dreams, have more rights to this land than the people who were forced out for them to move in. And they taught their offspring to defend it like a lioness defends her young. Defend it no matter what. Defend it by pushing these pupils down stone stairs to break their bones, because when someone steals something, they don't want to share. Don't you tell me what we saw was propaganda. You sound like the bullshit media, fair, fresh and fast, who dared to suggest Mohammed al-Jura, who died in his father's arms, might not really be dead, and that it was all a propaganda stunt by the other side, the terrorists, to harm the public image of the state. As if anyone needs invented stories to make a government that puts bullets in a little boy's head look bad. Fight terror, support Israel. Read stickers plastered all over Jerusalem. Ask yourself, who needs propaganda? An oppressor who desperately requires support in order to carry out its mission, in the hope the world will ignore acts against human rights. An oppressor who must find any reason to justify violations against humanity itself because there is never a reason good enough. Or the oppressed who are told they, as a people, no longer exist. The oppressed who face humiliation, torture, illegal imprisonment, bombing, house demolition, who scream out for the world to hear, but their plight does not fill the pockets of the rich or the powerful. So the world's most powerful call them scum and spit on the ground they walk. Do not tell me I am biased for supporting the oppressed. Do not tell me I have offended your way of life for sharing the truth of life on the other side of the wall. If people like you stop to think, to understand the human story of the people your state is occupying, not only the land but the minds of, if you found the courage to stand up and speak out against this systematic oppression, then maybe children would no longer be lulled to sleep to the sound of gunshots. Then maybe they would not grow up to remember with clarity what it feels like to be close to death at the hands of another in their own home. I beg you, friend, with every ounce of my being, to stop and think. How would you feel if it were you imprisoned on this side of the wall?